Fellow Nigerians, I am greatly heartbroken as I address a national catastrophe presently befalling us as a nation. Like Nehemiah, when Anani brought him news of Jerusalem's broken walls and her suffering people, my heart is painfully heavy, hearing news of the enormous moral decay mercilessly sweeping our able youths off their feet. I am not a judge. I am your brother. I am your friend. I am a stakeholder in this matter, being a Nigerian myself. Many recent realities and happenings in our dear nation, especially among our youth, are not very palatable. In the quest for quick wealth and societal relevance, a massive percentage of our young brothers are on a mass exodus into internet frauds and blood money rituals. Many of our young sisters are equally now willing to do anything for money, and that includes prostitution and several unbelievable immoral behaviors on the internet and social media platforms. Parents have become helpless and are forced to accept and support their children in the fraudulent acts. We also have religious leaders who have become shameless beneficiaries of the ungodly process. Some political and traditional leaders have equally become godfathers, actually directing the criminalities with strong support from compromised security personnel. This decay is a guilt that must be carried upon the shoulders of all facets of our society. We need now to sincerely accept our failures and our direct or indirect contributions to this menace. Truly, evil prevails when good men do nothing. This, for some of us, has been our indirect contribution. We did nothing but watch as criminals became mentors to our youth. It is time to repent and begin to rebuild what is left of the ruin our name as a nation has suffered. If we fail now, then we must be ready for the cruel fate that will become ours in the years to come. The fearful shadow of the time when it will begin to dawn on us that a good name is surely better than riches, as we are told in Proverbs 22 verse 1, is gradually upon us. We can't afford to ignore what is now very obvious. The dreadful days are coming quickly, when prominent nations of the world may be left with no other option than to completely close their doors against us. When possibly the words, "Nigerians are not allowed here," will be boldly written across international airports, international borders, international universities, international organizations, and other international representations. When embargoes will be placed on financial transactions, imports and exports, travels, internet activities, and other corporate dealings with Nigeria as a country and Nigerians as a people. Not because we have a deadly biological virus, but because of a pandemic of fraudulent behaviors and corrupt practices we've left unattended. Already, many innocent Nigerians have had to suffer very mean treatments outside the shores of Nigeria for just being Nigerians. Even as a clergy, I have had an inquiry for an accommodation turned down in Ghana, a fellow West African country, because I'm a Nigerian. We don't have the right to blame anybody or nations who presently treat us like lepers. Of course, we cannot set our house on fire and run into the houses of our neighbors with the torches of fire still in our hands. It is proper that we first drop the fire torches in our hands to convince our neighbors that we have come to their homes as peaceful visitors. We must begin now to quench this fire that is engulfing our nation, put our house in order, and clean up our name to avoid a complete descent into national abyss. This is a fight we must fight for the future generations of our great nation. Every one of us should be ready to unsheath our swords and fight in all our spheres of influence. These fights must become the discussion of the politicians, the message of the preachers, the prayer of the intercessors, the song of the singers, the book of the writers, the drama of the actors, the comedy of the comedians, the skit of the skit makers, the subject of the teachers, the drawing of the artists, and if possible, the injection of the doctors. This is a common enemy, a national emergency, a brutal moral pandemic that must be treated as such with all the seriousness required. It is my prayer that we win this battle quickly enough and turn our ship around in time before finally hitting the rock. It is not true that there is no other work available for the youth, hence their decision to resort to internet frauds and blood money rituals. That's a lie from hell and Satan's deceptive bait. It is simply the spirit of greed that has invaded the hearts of our youth. Our fathers fought many battles for us as a nation in the past. We owe a debt to the generations after us to fight this battle and leave a name for them which they will be proud of in the committee of nations. May God bless Nigerian youth and may God bless the Federal Republic.
Palm oil jollof rice with vegetables ready. Yummy. Dry fish and Titus fish. When last now don't eat palm oil jollof rice. I just cook jollof rice, palm oil jollof rice. So yummy. With crayfish, dry fish, and the Titus fish. I can put vegetable by the side. They fire my show now. I'm waiting just hungry me with this. Oh, oh.
Fade yìí so kí ló wá ṣe mí báyìí so fẹ́ jẹ́ ọmọ gbé ni so kí ló dé tó wá wọṣọ uniform tó wọṣọ nurse ó ti bọ́ ṣọ títí ó wá wọṣọ nurse ẹ̀yin mélòó lẹ wá ẹ̀yin mélòó ìwọ nìkan ló wá bí.